Namaste. Welcome to Yoga Express. So we're going to get started with a deep breathing exercise. Simple deep breathing exercise by just bringing the hands, sitting in a cross-legged position, bringing the hands onto the knees. Just getting familiar with the space that you're in now. Place the hands on the knees. Take a nice deep breath in, roll the shoulders back, and exhale. Nice deep breath in, and exhale. Continue this deep breathing, feeling up the lungs on every inhale. Exhale, emptying the lungs. It's really nice to do it with the eyes closed. It takes away any distractions. So just inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Continue through last 10 seconds. Just warming the body up, stretching the lungs. And then when you're ready, just relax, breathing all that air out. And just getting prepared for the first pose. So we're going to come into a standing position for the first pose. We're going to come into a nice forward bend, working the hamstrings. So we're going to come into dangling pose. So what I want you to do is bring your toes and heels to touch. So bring them to touch there. Just get yourself set. Bringing the shoulder blades together. Bring your hands on your hips. And what I want you to do is feel the hip bones. Okay, so that's where we're going to bend from. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, bending forward. Feel the tilt of the hips, dropping the head down and lifting the hips up. So we're here for 2 minutes. This is a really nice pose to work the hamstrings nice and early. Being an express class, we want to get the most out of each pose. Okay, so there's shorter holds that are long enough for yin yoga, but shorter holds. We're trying to get everything we can out of the pose. So drop the head down. Eventually the head comes to the toes, the hips are moving up to the ceiling, so we want to lengthen that area. Work with that deep breath that we just had at the beginning. You're halfway through. Last 40 seconds. If you need to bend the knees at all, make sure you do that. Still work on pushing the hips up. If your legs are straight, keep pushing the hips up, drop the head down. The head's important to be coming down to get that blood to flow through the brain. So it's the reverse blood to flow that we're after, just clearing out the mind, clearing out the cobwebs as we stretch through the hamstrings. You can grab each elbow or just bring the hands on the floor, however you're comfortable. You can even reach behind the ankles if you want to and fold forward. And when you're ready, we're just going to place the hands on the floor and just walk the feet out. So hip width apart, turn the toes outwards and heels in and sitting down into garland pose. Bringing the hands into prayer position. So it's a couple of minutes in garland pose, and you can either sit like this or bring in a twist, so it's totally up to yourself. I'm going to do the twist, so we can sit like this, lengthen through the spine. If you feel comfortable, bring the right hand down, left hand up. And if you want to go further, bring that left hand behind Either on the lower back, place the palm, or reach around to the inside of the right thigh, twist and look over the left shoulder. So getting a nice spine twist while opening the hips here. And if you're just in Garland, that's good enough and that's fine. You're going to get the nice hip opener that we're after. But just keep working the hips down to the floor. If you need to sit on something like a bolster or a cushion or a little stool, make sure you do that. We're trying to get the hips open, okay? So if your hips are really high up and uncomfortable, try and find something you can sit on, even the edge of a lounge, something like that. A chair, twist. When you're ready, bring the left hand up, come back into Garland, left hand down, right hand up. So reaching up as high as you can, hold there, or bring your hand around and twist. Keep twisting. If you're in this position for the twist, keep pushing that right elbow into the calf muscle or thigh and twist. Look over that right shoulder. Just 20 seconds to go now, so continuing with that focus on the breath. When you're ready, come out if you're in the twist. We bring back in Garland. And the 2 minutes is up now. So bring your hands behind you and coming down onto your bum. Bring the soles of the feet together, soles of the feet on the floor, bending your knees up and just coming into windshield wipers. Just briefly to stretch through those hips, the opposite way. So now we're going to flip over onto the stomach. So when you're ready, come into prone position. So in prone position, we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So I'll flip around this way so you can see. So we're in Sphinx pose. So bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Bring the palms of the hands onto the floor. Spread the fingers out. Shoulder blades together. Reaching up with the chest. So push the chest up. Chin up. Should feel that really nice stretch in the lower back. If you're not feeling that stretch, bring the shoulder blades together, sternum coming up further. So you want the sternum always to come up high as you push the forearms into the floor while you're continually working on the breath. Closing the eyes down is always recommended. Just takes away any judgment that you've got in yourself or anything that's happening around you. It catches your eye and just focus on the breath. Focus on the time that you're on the mat. It's 20-minute express class will work wonders for you, just bringing that into your day. If you want it in the last 10 seconds, you want to straighten the arms, squeeze the glutes, push the floor away, come into a little bit of a deeper stretch. And exhale, come down. Relax the back by coming into crocodile pose. So stack the hands, bring the forehead onto the floor, toes out, heels in. 5 or 6 breaths in this pose. Just to relax the back. We're going to go to a deeper back bend now. So when you're ready, bring the feet together. Bring the hands down by the sides of the body. Palms on the floor. Bring the forehead onto the floor. Then lift the forehead off, chest off. Bring the shoulder blades together and bring that chest off the floor. Bring the arms up, so the hands off the floor. Now what we're going to do is bring the legs up. So we want the legs up. Toes pointing back, thighs off the floor. Shoulder blades together, legs up, chin up, chest up, arms up. Legs up. Bring those legs up a little bit further. Feet together, legs up, chest up, arms up, chin up, come up all the way. Exhale, come down back into crocodile pose and relax in crocodile pose. So we need a bit more, a longer relax there, so take your time, get the breath back. So we've worked the hamstrings, nice forward bend. There we do a couple of really nice back bends. We're going to move through these poses to give yourself a good stretch as well as getting used to building a practice. So when you're ready, help yourself up. We're going to come into square pose, so we're going to work into the hips. So the next few poses are hip poses. We're going to work deep into the hips. 2 minutes either side for square pose. So with square pose, there's two ways to do it. We bring the left foot down, try and get that shin parallel with the side of the front of the mat. And then we bring the right foot up and over and we stack on top of the shins. So we're trying to get the shins stacked. Mine's a little bit up now, a little bit stiff, but it'll work down and we slowly get to this position. And eventually we start walking the hands forward. If that's too much and your knees are up like this, put the left leg out, right foot up, bring it as high as possible. And if you want to place something under this knee, just coming into this position. So breathing, as we did from the beginning of the class. So this one is opening the hips from the outside. If you're in the full pose. Sometimes it's nice to start off in the half pose and then work to the full pose, particularly if it's early in the morning. It's really nice. It'll get you in a little bit deeper, a little bit quicker. So 2 minutes either side is pretty much all you need at the moment for this. Working your way forward towards the floor. So if you find that you get problems in the knees with this, like the tightness in the knees, you can place like a towel. Always have a towel with you in yoga and you can roll it up and place the towel between the knee. But if you can look on the videos that I've got with all things, how to use props, etc. So it'll get you prepared when you come into these on what you need. But a towel's always handy, a bolster or a nice big cushion, like a European cushion or something, a strap and a block. They're always really to get you through your sets of poses. So what we're doing here is opening up through the hips on the outside. We're stopping the blood flow through the knees and the ankles and opening the hips. Okay, if we come forward, we start stretching through the spine. Okay, so if you have to sit like this, that's okay, but slowly work your way forward. You might even want to bring a bolster or a cushion in front of you and get yourself comfortable this way. Okay, it's all about getting comfortable so you can last that 2 minutes. We've just got a few more breaths to go before we switch sides. So we're going to switch sides now. So straighten those legs out, just let the blood flow through. You'll get used to that sensation of the blood just flowing through those knees and ankles. And then we bring the right leg under and left leg over the top. So what you've got to remember with this is we want a gap between the ankles or the calf muscles more and the body. Okay, so you want to look down and see a gap. So coming into this pose now, and if you want to do the one-legged version, it's right leg out, left leg up, and you can place something under there. You can slowly come up, depending on what is comfortable for you. And sometimes, the good thing about having a towel, sometimes you get a little bit sensitive under the bones here. So the ankle bone, to me, is a bit sensitive today. So I'll bring the towel and place it under there.
And other times I'll need it here because it's pushing into my calf muscles. So it's all about just getting comfortable. Once you get comfortable in these poses, you can start moving a little bit forward and deeper into the pose, as long as you're connecting to the breath. Okay, so connecting to the breath is the difference between me being up here and then me being down here, because the breath is going to release all the tension in the body. Not straight away, eventually. And then that's how you end up in places like this, coming down towards the floor. Then you're getting the deeper stretch. So the deeper you go, deeper the stretch, but don't try and go too quick. Don't be in this position. If it's too much of a struggle or too uncomfortable, always go back into the one leg version. So 30 seconds to go. Really work with that breath. So all these express classes will work on a few poses. This is one of the major poses. This pose and the next pose, then the major poses, and then we work our way back down to finishing. So when you're ready, slowly come out of the pose. What we really need to do here is, in the longer classes, we go into Shavasana. In the shorter classes, we just want to release that blood flow. Okay, so allow that blood to flow through the legs. You can just put your hands behind you, shake the legs if you like. Because we're going to move into the hips again, this time the inside of the hips, the hip flexors, instead of the outside. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to come into Baddha Konasana. So it's a couple of minutes in this pose. Soles of the feet together, interlace all 10 fingers, place the fingers under the hands. Now, the reason we place the fingers under the hands is because we want to pull up and lengthen through the spine and come forward. So because we want to come forward, Baddha Konasana, usually the heels are up here, but we're going to bring them forward so we can get a forward bend in as well. So feet away from the body, pulling, lengthening through the spine, shoulder blades together, sternum up, and slowly come down. Doesn't matter how far you get down. And sometimes you might not even come down and you're in this position, but work the elbows down to the calves and then slowly start pulling on those feet and coming all the way down. Again, you can have a bolster in front of you. If you want to work your way down and get comfortable on the bend, a few different ways. And if you're a bit uncomfortable in this underneath the hips, you can sit on a block as well. So just giving you ideas through the class, but I have got all that on video on the website. So just have a look at how you use props and get into positions. And that's in the breakdown series on the website. So halfway through, continually work into this pose, continually pull on the feet, continually breathe, continually lengthen through the spine on every inhale. Exhale, slowly come down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, deepen into the pose. The last 35 seconds. Work with that breath. And when you're ready, slowly, slowly coming up. Then we're going to stretch the legs out. So coming onto our back into Shavasana. So stretch the legs out. Laying flat on your back. Allow the blood to flow through because we're going to move into the next pose after about 10 seconds. So now we're going to move into a back bend. We've done a few hip openers in a row. So we're going to come into bridge pose. We're going to come into half bridge. So bring the feet up, heels towards the buttocks, feet hip width apart, palms on the floor. And then we lift, push the heel and the big toe, bring the shoulder blades together,
as you push the hips up. Keep pushing the hips up, keep pushing through the blades of the foot, through the heel and the big toe, but squeeze the glutes and come up a little bit higher. So you've got the option to stay in this position, and you might even want to just hold yourself, push the hips up a little bit higher, that's up to you, but if you're comfortable here, stay here, or you can interlace all 10 fingers underneath the body, bring the shoulder blades together, lift the chest up, push down through the heels and the big toes, just squeeze the glutes, lift up, chin's coming towards the chest, and lengthen the spine, shoulder blades together, come up, exhale, release, bring the hands down, bring the feet together and just come into the windshield walk. This is always really nice to relax after a pose. Then we're going to come into Viparita Karani, which is legs up. So there's a few different ways you can do this. Most of you who do my classes know the way, so go back into that. If you don't, you can just bring your hands underneath your hips and bring the legs up. If you've got a block handy, you can place it under, legs up. Or push your bum up against the wall and come into the wall with legs up the wall. Now, this is a really nice way to finish a class. So the good thing about this pose, we're going to lengthen through the spine, bringing the chin to the chest. Try and work those shoulder blades in together. Whether you're up the wall or the way I am, chin towards the chest, legs up. Start working those toes towards the shins as you push the heels towards the ceiling. You're going to get a deeper stretch through the hamstrings and through the Achilles tendons. Bring the belly button to the spine. And just breathe. It's a reverse blood flow, so we're resting the heart. So the heart's not pumping the blood all the way through. We're draining the legs. So we're getting rid of any type of issues going on in the joints, like inflammation. So it's really good to ease the pain of arthritis, or just joint pain in general. So just another 30 seconds here. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly bring the legs down and move into the final pose, Shavasana. Always give yourself as long as you can go in Shavasana. We'll just lay here for a minute or so in this video. If you want to go longer, just go as long as you can go in Shavasana. Just allowing the body to start relaxing. So we need to be as still and as calm as possible. Always focus on one thing when you get in Shavasana. Always focus on one thing. So I like to change the focus, and you'll hear me through my classes when I talk you through this, is change the focus. So focus on the right big toe. And just breathe. Focus on the right palm of the hand. And just say right palm of the hand as you breathe into it. Focus on the left big toe. Breathe as you say left big toe. Focus on the left palm. And just breathe as you focus on the left palm. Now focus on the breath coming in and out the nose. And then do yourself a favor by giving yourself a bit of thanks for doing this video, giving yourself that time, that express time It's not a full class, but it's going to do you the world of good by just doing something on the mat. So give yourself a really good thanks and praise for that. Once you do that, send off a gratitude to someone that you love or someone that just means something to you in your life. It could be someone that you just take for granted. Send off a really nice gratitude to them. And start wiggling the toes and the fingers. As I said, if you want to stay in Shavasana, stay there. Just let this video run out and stay there. Otherwise, roll to the right hand side, take a nice breath in the fetal position. And working your way up to Sukhasana, comfortable seated pose. Always try and finish this way with your hands in prayer position, shoulder blades together. Nice deep inhale. And an exhale. And always thank yourself in Shavasana. Namaste is a really nice way to finish a class. So thank you for watching the video. I know you're going to feel a little bit more open with this Express class. So thank you for doing Yoga Express. It was a pleasure to take you through the class. Namaste. Thank you.